He's got the fewest reps in camp, and he's got a sore arm. Why? Well, people say he throws a lot before practice and after practice. Well, how counterproductive is that?
I'm sure there's a method to the madness.
Obviously, it was counterproductive because he's got a sore arm.
Okay, so you're using that as a negative against the kid?
I don't understand.
Jesus, God, would you give him a chance?
Well,
my God, because his arm's sore?
Yeah.
What, that's a negative? That the kid's got a sore arm?
Yes!
Because he's working too hard? Get the hell out of here.
Working against who?
Get out of here. You got an agenda with that. You're going to, you know what, Tone? That's going to bite.
Toni Grossi, who's made a habit of taking shots at Shedeur Sanders, just hit a new low with his latest comment. Now he's mocking Shedeur for having arm soreness, saying Sanders somehow ended up with it after throwing fewer reps than any other quarterback on the team. It's a bold and petty move by Grossi, and once again, he's painting a negative picture of the young QB. But seriously, is it fair to drag a player over something as normal as arm soreness? Let's break down this latest cheap shot and figure out what Grossi's real issue is.
Method to the madness.
What is it?
He's trying to get his arm right, Tone. I'm sure he's probably practiced more now than he has at any point in his
Well,
collegiate
it obviously
career.
was counterproductive because he's got a sore arm.
Tony Rizzo, better known as Riz, didn't hold back in firing back at Grossi's comments. He called out the nonsense, making it clear that mocking Shedeur for arm soreness was totally out of line. Riz reminded everyone that soreness isn't a weakness. It's proof of hard work. He explained that this is the first time Shedeur Sanders is going through this kind of intense training, and of course his body's going to feel it. That's normal. It's part of grinding at the next level, and Riz made sure people knew there's nothing embarrassing about it. And Riz isn't wrong, because even head coach Kevin Stefanski backed him up. Stefanski made it clear that Shedeur Sanders has been grinding at the highest level possible. He pointed out that even before official practice started, Shedeur was already out there putting in the extra work, making sure he was ready for whatever the team threw at him. That kind of effort and discipline shows, and the payoff goes way beyond just dealing with a sore arm. Stefanski's message was loud and clear. This kind of commitment is exactly what separates the real ones from the rest, no matter how tough it gets.
Where they're getting reps and those type of things. He's working extremely hard, like all those guys are. We're still not yet through the installation schedule. We're still just introducing 2-minute yesterday. We'll introduce some different distances today, situationally, so I wouldn't really think much past that.
Riz didn't hold back when he called out Grossi for constantly pushing a negative agenda against Shedeur Sanders. He straight up said Grossi was using the arm soreness story as just another excuse to attack Shedeur's character. Clearly fed up, Riz snapped back. Get the hell out of here. You're just pushing an agenda against him. It was a bold move that showed just how strongly Riz feels about the unfair shot Shedeur's been taking. He wasn't about to sit by and let Grossi keep spreading hate without saying something. At this point, it's obvious Riz has had enough, and honestly, he's not wrong to be pissed. Toni Grossi has been at this for a while now, constantly trying to dig up flaws and twist things to make Shedeur Sanders look bad. Even when training camp kicked off and Shedeur started putting up impressive numbers, Grossi still found ways to nitpick every tiny mistake and blow it out of proportion, like Shedeur was falling apart. It's almost like Grossi has been waiting for the smallest excuse to tear him down, no matter how well he's playing. This non-stop criticism isn't new, it's become a pattern, and at this point, it's impossible to ignore.
Yes, so, if they think so. I know what I saw. That's why I charted numbers. I had numbers to prove it. He was 3 of 8 in his second set of 7-on-7.
Who was 3 of 8?
Shedeur.
Okay.
The other guy was 6 of 8. Okay. Slightly better.
Okay.
This is a period where the ball is not supposed to hit the ground unless a defender wraps it around.
But they are rookies.
Toni Grossi has never been willing to admit that Shedeur Sanders might actually be better than Dillon Gabriel. And let's be real, he was never going to give Shedeur a fair shot. Grossi has stuck to his harsh criticism, completely ignoring Shedeur's talent and upside. In fact, when someone even suggested the Browns should consider giving Shedeur a shot, Grossi laughed it off like it was some kind of joke. That kind of arrogant, dismissive attitude shows just how deep his bias runs. No matter how much Shedeur proves himself, Grossi seems dead set on minimizing his game and shutting him down at every turn. Grossi has been pushing the idea that Shedeur Sanders isn't even close to being ready for the first team, saying it'll take him at least 4 years to fully develop. Over and over, he's claimed that Dillon Gabriel is more prepared and will be ready to perform at a high-level way before Shedeur ever will. Grossi's whole narrative paints Shedeur as someone who needs tons of time to catch up, while Dillon is already polished and plug-and-play. This constant comparison and doubt about Shedeur's readiness has only made the tension between Grossi and the Sanders camp even more heated.
It's a 4-year plan, not a 4-week plan, heading into the opening of this season. I don't think they feel the urgency to rush either of those guys in. They want to develop them over time. And one may develop quicker than the other. They probably think it'll be Gabriel.
Grossi may keep pushing his biased takes, but the truth is catching up, and fans are starting to see through the agenda. The battle over Shedeur's future is just getting started. Subscribe to our channel for the latest updates, exclusive insights, and full coverage as this story unfolds.